like to listen to this radio sometimes. But not today, not so much like that, if I may say. Yesterday I had a nice trip along the way. It's kind of a trip of 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yet it's on Google Map 15 minutes more. And I did even have some stops because I wanted to have this, which was hanging tied on a tree with all this, what do you call it? No, it's not that. Kvae.
KVAE on trees. KVAE on trees.
I think it is a bad translation. So this moist, that when a tree is have a wound, it gets moist, and sometimes it's this big droplets over this moist from the tree that is covering the wound. Oh, wow. Sometimes the theme, the topic gives itself. Sometimes you need to see to the nature, all things. Because when you are wounded, and I think it's good topic after what I have been talking about lately. Yesterday I did something on YouTube that was, let me see. A rabbit hole. That was the latest YouTube video. Rabbit hole is, I used that as something you couldn't avoid happening. It's like you are destined in some short period maybe, or in the whole life. Because people go into this, I don't like this. I don't like it. It's making me feel warm. It's 22, 23 degrees outside Celsius. So it's quite hot. And I'm drinking hot coffee. Yeah. You can't avoid. So you can see the whole life as a rabbit hole to the death. You are born destined to do certain things, and then you die. And the ants, the bees, and those societies in the animal kingdom. There were a movie that Seinfeld and this movie maker of Star Wars and all this, Steven Spielberg. They came together and wanted to do a bee movie, and it was very brilliant. You should see it. I think it called Ant or B movie or something. It was, in this case, it have been an ant movie too. I don't know, it was an animation anyway. That this ant that was so bored of, or this bee, was so bored of doing these duties. He was born into specific things. So he wanted to break out of that. And he did all what he could to get away, because he was different than everybody else. He had these artistic qualities, all these attributes that they may not have. In his case, he had it. So that was kind of you can feel that way too. It's very common to feel that you are some rare stuff, different from everybody else. Who doesn't feel that? I don't think it is only me that feel I'm odd and awkward. It's okay, we are human, we know how it is. If you are laughing at this and feel, what is this man talking about? Well, you are not human, you are not a mensch. So, back to this wound that we can get every so often. We can get wounded. And if you see to the nature, what happens to a wounded limb? Everything in your body, if you cut yourself like I have done here, it's the blood is clotting. It's clotting outside. It's I don't know the name of that, but it's a quality of the blood. So it streams out to this part, not to sprout out like a fontana. No, it's going out there and making a lock. And that is similar to also the tree. The trees, the bark, when the bark is cut, the tree is protecting this place, so it doesn't tamper with strength. In some cases, it even gains more strength than before. Those kind of wounds, I think in some tree, on some trees or some vegetation, they wound it in order for it to grow stronger. I heard that very long time ago, that if you bend the branches of an apple tree, it will start being more fruitful. So they are hanging stones, bending on the branches, so that it can bow down. It is more or less hanging like that. It's not all these shiny leaves growing upwards. No, it's growing downwards. And even more so, they bear fruits in plentyfold. I can't think of a biblical parallel to this. It will come, obviously, but we need, it seems that we need to feel tormented, wounded, and hurt. Yes, so that you can grow a little bit stronger. So if you feel that someone is unjust with you, or tormenting you, or doing you wrong, I have certain experience about that. It's I think this autofocus is not good. Oh, give me a break. Anyway, okay. I try this out. I think this is okay. I think this is the best. Um, um, we need, I think, for people, that the difference, I think. The people that is just strolling along the life, having seemingly no trouble, no, they are only supported. They have so nice parents, they have so nice friends. Nobody is against them. Every time, any which way, they are for them. It seems like that. And those people can suffer even more. I don't want to go into that because it's not my experience. I don't want to portray people badly or wrongly, but I think it's viewed like that some people, yes, are surfacing the world. And David, or in Psalms, it's written about this man himself, that why does everything good happen to the ungodly? It's kind of, he looks at the world, the people that is surfacing the world. They gain money, they have so much money, they have so much things. It's like they are superior to everybody. They doesn't care. They are oblivious or indifferent. I tend to use this oblivious. I don't know why. They are indifferent with many people, with their surrounding. As long as they are okay, they are friendly. If they are not okay, they are not friendly. So I should put up this scripture, but I just was reminded of it, that every ungodly, not every ungodly, but the ungodly, it's out of his despair. Why are you tormenting me? And this Job that was suffering, even out of this, we wouldn't accept that someone did that to him, just for spite, just for testing his belief in God. No, I think God here did Job wrong. But I haven't the broader picture. I wouldn't even judge God. God is in his own league. Who can judge God? He is not any parallel to any human. What is this? We can't parallel, we can't be compared with God. And we are just judging. If we can't judge our next kin, we can't judge God either. So if we can't, to say even more sharper, if I can't judge myself, why in this world can I judge God? That's what Job was tending into going. He was not judging himself. He was just the victim. He was kind of victim in his own eyes. And obviously, who wouldn't be a victim in his own eyes, having to endure all this trouble that he went through? No one. And arrogant Christians, they don't pay much attention to that human suffering. But I judge. But this is just so horrendous acts against a human being. That's hard. It's hard to be a human. But I think, as I was leading into, the difference between a man or a woman that are suffering, having to undergo so much strains, and those that are not. I have talked about it earlier, but you may have forgotten it. It's because it's your life. It's the rabbit hole of your life. It's the blessing and curse. You see, if you are undergoing some problems, I bet I wouldn't say it's true or something, but I would bet a lot that someone that is undergoing problems, not even having this moist that is curing the wound, is just so tender, so vulnerable, so thin skin. They are so thin-skinned they can't even see into the daylight. So hard for them. They are some examples of some humans that we can follow. I would bet a lot of money if that wasn't true, because nothing is happening to any human that isn't some kind of proof of he is used, like Job. Who wouldn't have understood suffering if they didn't read Job? To read Job's book of Job is understanding the mentality of the suffering victim, the kind of mentality he is all about. Not only about God that is risen on the dust and is and he knows everything, how it's made in your so this kind of big broader picture that God is painting. Did you make the stars? How would you know how a child is developed in mother's womb? Not even today's scientists know how that is coming to be. It's great. So why are you condemning God or other humans for your suffering? No, learn from the nature that any wound that you may endure, there will be some kind of treatment to that, some kind of moist. And in the Bible it's told about put oil on my head. It's kind of healing up the wound, healing up the so. And also regarding the words, language, all this kind of stuff that I'm talking about, the language that is a mental healing for you. When you get something straight, you can cope with it. If you understand what you are going through, you can cope. If you don't understand, it's even harder to cope. So when you understand why things is happening or how you take it, you will be able to change that. So the Hebrew language, it's written more than once in the Bible. But for the Hebrew that is coming back to Israel, coming back to their own language, It's a similar track. They are walking the track. Look on Israel. Look at Israel. Look at the Jews. They follow the track. Even if they don't really know and understand what is happening. I believe that the track that led them to the concentration camp wasn't the end. The rabbit hole of those people wasn't the end. It was kind of the continuous, when they understood where they were. And the begotten Son, when he understood, when he saw where he was able to move away. And the Jewish people collectively, collective mind. I don't say that Jews have a collective mind. Maybe they have, I don't know. But when they had this collective understanding, where they were, they got the urge promoted or pushed to go back to Israel from a 2,000-year-old refugeehood. And at this moment, this crucial moment, not only the rabbis that could talk Hebrew, but all the Jewish people in the Israeli land, they were gaining back their own language. And I think when something is healing, I told that to our old Jewish guy, and he confirmed it by 2 verses in the Bible. And I think the one verse is in Habakkuk, the prophet, that it's going to be healing time for the Jewish people. It's great. It's something so lovable to talk about. This kind of healing, the Jewish suffering from old time, ancient time, that when they gain back their language. And I told yesterday that Jesus, as we see it, us Christians, or the Messiah, he is the Word. And never in their mind, the Christians thought of when Jesus is the Word. If he is the Word, he is also the Hebrew language. So when they came back and took the ownership of the Hebrew language, I think some collective, if not personal, I believe wholeheartedly that it's a personal healing. But to have a collective notion of when we are using this language, we express, even on a deeper level, what we have experienced. It's the language is exploring. So that's why I say to the atheist, what do you want with this God replacement? It's all about how we get to be self-aware. Where are you? Where are we? So to be wounded as the Jewish nation have been over decades, over long time, it's something like a moist will grow out. I'm not a prophet, but I believe that to be a nation like that, they have been healing up and they will be so strong. And you, my friend, you are not less worthy than to be healed up when you have been wounded. Not only the physical is not mainly the physical, but if you are healing up here in your mind, in your mentality, in your conscience, in your psyche, when you are healing up, God will see to you. God see you when you are suffering. I believe that. And it's nice to talk about certain things that is more important than others. And I can say that as a testimony, using language, which I have been feeling of that I couldn't manage language. I couldn't manage it because everybody talked well. They knew what to say, how to say it, and which word to use. So it's also coming to me. And the more self-aware you are, you will not need not so much assistance of medicine if you come to terms with yourself. I think only language, or the way you express yourself, if you want to express yourself, do it. It's important. Like artists, they are singing, they are painting, they are also doing these tubes. I don't know how dear it is to them to do what they do, but for me it's a surviving tool. When I talk, I don't only do this on YouTube, but when I talk, I get to grips with my inner self. Where are you? It's the most important question for ages, right from get-go. Because in some sense, we got lost. My friends, the one that is asking that question is mainly for those that got lost. And Adam got lost. He got wounded and lost. So we need to go out, find healing in the exploring of yourself, in exploring of your environment. I'm back to the track I was on yesterday, but know that for every wound there is a healing. For every kind of hurt there is some blessing, something more than you can see. And you may dispute me and so on. I don't really care. I talk out of experience. This is my personal experience. That's why I say it. I think it's that important to convey these things, because many people today, even in a relationship that everything seems well, there is hurt ongoing hurt. So, know your way around. Know your way to be healed. But you don't really need to know that. It's okay. It's okay to it's okay. You will be healed. Over time, it will grow some moist. And the blessing of the wound. When Samson killed this lion, when he returned, it was honey there. The honey, my friend, that's sweet. So I wish you a blessed day, everyone. Take care of yourself.